to learn about healthy lifestyle changes with a supportive and encouraging group. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska for more information. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen, Stein Stamina, and much more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m., and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $5 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for this Saturday's Bachfest.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one, get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off Piedmontese brats. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
You hungry? You know you are. We got chicken fingers, crunchy, fries are golden crispy, baby. Yo, don't forget about the cane sauce, baby. Ooh, right, here's the spot. Hello!
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, welcome to it. This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Also streaming worldwide on our free app for your phone. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Just search 93.7 The Ticket, wherever it is. You find it in your app store, you download our app. It is free. It is crystal clear. It is wherever you go in the world. If you're on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you can listen and you can watch there. You can go back. You can scroll back through, clip things that you like. If you really enjoyed something, post it on our social media, your social media, tag us, all that good stuff. You can do that. You can go back and rewatch. You can go back and re-listen, all at just the tap of a couple buttons. We are also grateful to be part of the Allo Cable package, channel 961. If you are an Allo Cable subscriber, you get that. If you're an Allo Internet subscriber, good for you. So am I. I have had zero issues since my wife and I moved into our house coming up on 3 years ago. Now, that's as long as I've been an Allo subscriber. They have not let me down. We're overloading it sometimes, to be completely honest, and it's never dropped, never slow, really never any issues at all. So shout out to Allo for the great work that they do on the residential side and also the commercial side. Allo is what powers us here at 93.7 The Ticket. What also powers us? The Mercado. They're the sponsor of this hour of Old School from 5 to 6, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 4 or 3 Lincoln locations, 1 up in Omaha. You can check them out. Every type of meat, every type of cut, and more. They got prepackaged meals. They got snacks. They got spices. They got cheeses. They got desserts. You name it, it's probably there at your local Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. And also, don't forget, they have Fired Up Fridays. Let's take a look here. Fired Up Fridays, the Mercado. Let's see what is on tap. All right, pulling up themercadobutcher.com. Fired Up Friday. Oh, wait. They also have Fired Up Thursdays now. That's pretty incredible. Fired Up Thursdays at the Good Life Cyclery, 5900 South 85th Street. Today they had TDK hot Italian beef with a side Italian pasta salad. All that for $14. That was at their 5900 South 85th Street location. But Fired Up Fridays, tomorrow, short rib chili. Ooh, yeah, short rib chili. Are you kidding me? As cold as it is outside, you can also get a cinnamon roll on the side for just $4. I'm sure it's going to be massive cinnamon roll, probably well frosted. Going to go really well with that short rib chili. You can get an entree, side, and a drink for just $20. This is at the North 84th Street location, 40 or 84th and Havelock. So definitely make sure you go check out the Mercado for Fired Up Fridays starting tomorrow. Let's bring him in. Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman joins me now for Old School. Jay, welcome back.
What's happening? Same
Not
old
much.
soup,
What's
just
going on?
reheated.
Same old soup, just reheated. The short rib chili is the Fired Up Friday tomorrow from the Mercado. So that's not going to be the same old soup. That's new soup.
Hey, I like that, bro. I like that, the Fired Up Philly, though, with the short ribs, though.
Tell me about it.
That'll hit the spot. You know what? That's like a comfort food, you know, in the wintertime. You would probably, well, in this temperatures right now, you can't really fire up the grill too much, but I think that'll do it. That'll suffice it. Yeah, that'll wet your whistle, as they like to say, you know. So nevertheless, Austin, I sent you the article, man, of the 2013 draft.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, when you think about the distinction of the different guys that went and came quickly, from Mingo to Luke Jokel to even Milner from the Jets, guys that were, I guess, good enough in college to be thought of to be drafted that high, to end up being, I guess, on our media outlet is probably the worst draft in NFL history, right?
Probably.
Right, even from my man from the EJ Manuel, where he was up there. Remember Jim Kelly? I don't know if you remember this. You remember Jim Kelly essentially wouldn't sign off on him. Maybe, you know, because of EJ Manuel not wanting or not embracing the cold weather in Buffalo, right? And you do have to be a different type of quarterback and be mentally tougher, or a different type of mentally tough to play quarterback up there in Buffalo, because it's not going to be ideal conditions, even when it's, you know, it could be 60, 70 degrees out there, but it's going to be 20-mile-an-hour winds. And so I think whether it's EJ Manuel, JP Lossman, I think it was just a plethora of quarterbacks that failed up in Buffalo, and he was one of them. Then you had one guy that I thought that actually was going to be pretty good, and I do think that he would have been better in Indianapolis if the injury bug didn't hit him, and it was a different type of, I guess, vibe in the organization. Was Bjorn Warner. I think he was really, really good, and I felt like his talent and his skill set would have translated in the NFL, but sometimes you get your career gets curtailed by the injury bug. And then you have a guy like Jarvis Jones, right? And they put up his 40 time, and this is crazy. When you watched him play, or at least when I watched him play in college, every big moment he made a play. He was borderline unstoppable, but he had a bad wheel that he played on and played through in college. Ran that 4.92 40, had minimal success in the NFL. One thing led to another. And then now necessarily you're on there. Then you think about like Green Bay, right? Damon Jones, who kind of came out of when they drafted him, it was out of nowhere. He was a pro day combine success story, and then next thing you know, he's going first round. So I think sometimes as this combine's coming up, and I think it's starting here real quick, obviously piggyback on some of the franchise tags and stuff like that, what teams should and shouldn't do. It's I think the NFL free agency is just the combine over again. And sometimes teams take guys because they think they need to fill a hole, like say they have a run on offensive tackles. Well, we got to take a tackle in the first round or we haven't done our job. So they take a Chance Womack, or remember the guard that the Raiders took that everybody had like a third or fourth round grade on him. They took him in top 10. And so you see that happen, and then guys end up coming into the league, and not living up to expectations. You think of one guy, Jonathan Cooper, right? The guard that from North Carolina that went to the Cardinals. He actually was pretty decent. But I wonder where they failed in the interview process, the lack of love for football. You know what I mean? Like, right. Did you just did you bypass that because he was so physically, or were you blinded by the thought that I can make him love football? I can bring out something in him that nobody else has ever brought out of him, through high school and college. And so it's really interesting when you think about free agency coming up. You'll see a team sign a player or two and talk themselves into that they can resurrect their career, or a different change of scenery will be you'll get a different player, or you'll see it in the draft here where careers are made or lost based on where they're drafted, who drafts them, and also the teammates around them.
That's really what it comes down to, is the situation that these guys find themselves in. I mean, that's going to determine a lot of it. I want to jump back to something else you said, though, Jay. You referenced the example of there's a run of tackles. We got to take one or we're not doing our job. Number one, that's giving into peer pressure, which if you're copying success, that's one thing, but you also kind of have to forge your own path, right? You can take examples, but you also have to understand the reality of your current roster. I think that also applies just as much to college football and the transfer portal, right? Where, yes, in the draft, you're looking to plug holes. In the NFL, more than really any other sport outside of maybe the NBA, you got to come in ready to play. You got to come in ready to compete. With the 53-man roster, there's not a whole lot of room for developmental projects. Yeah, we'll stash this guy here. Oh, yeah, we think he can be a practice squad guy. There's not a whole lot of that, right? In the NBA, if you're a lottery pick, very rarely are you going to head to the G League. You're expected to be able to step in and make a difference in the NBA to begin with. Whereas baseball, you have this sort of runway through the minor league system to ramp up, acclimate to the speed of the game and whatnot. But all that to say, if you're taking a player in the draft just because everyone else is, and you feel like it's down our list, we need a guy, but everyone else is taking him, so we got to hop on this guy now, even if it would be a little bit of a reach or we don't actually believe in his true talent, you better hope you get it right. Because more often than not, I would tend to trust a GM and a group in the NFL draft room that trusts its board, where you don't get caught up in the moment. You don't get swept up in the emotion of, oh, crap, we have to go get this. If a guy's worthy of the pick, he's worthy of the pick. If he's not worthy of the pick, that'll probably show up pretty quickly. And it's the same thing, I think, in college, where you get a guy out of the transfer portal because you need him, but does he fit? Or you just want him, he's a luxury sort of pick. Whereas maybe you'd be better off in saying, yeah, we would want this guy, but we don't have the funds in NIL to go this far. Yeah, we like this guy, but if someone else has a mid-second round grade on him, we have a mid-third to fourth round grade on him.
Yeah.
Is it really worth taking him? Or can we make it work with the guys we have? Can we give the guys that are already on our roster that we saw something in? A guy that's in his third year, whether he's a rising sophomore in college after a redshirt year, or he's been injured, been on the practice squad, and now's his chance when he's fully healthy and we let someone walk out the door to make an impact on an NFL roster. If you draft someone, if you recruit someone, and you don't believe in them being a competitor for a roster spot or a starting spot by the third year, why did you take them to begin with? Give those guys a chance. And sometimes, you're going to maybe reach on a pick according to the outside. You'll get it right. More power to you. But to your example of, we have to take a tackle because everyone else is taking a tackle, we don't want to miss out on a guy. That's a really dangerous game to play that can get you in trouble really quick.
Yeah, it's. I mean, everybody's. I mean, obviously the draft is coming up, and obviously with college, we're in spring ball. But really, to be honest with you, the one thing the transfer portal has done, and this is the silver lining for Bill Belichick and Mike Lombardi, who I think is their GM, and then obviously everybody else has pro experience, is that they probably are more astute at passing or finding the diamonds in the rough. Now that's questionable now with New England on who they drafted with higher draft choices, but whether it's in free agency really going all in on Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, obviously Julian Edelman, drafting him. Obviously Tom Brady is their bell cow. They've had some other guys from Neil and Matt Light, guys that were just been steady stalwarts in their program. Rob Gronkowski, taking him in the second round when he pretty much missed his whole senior year because of a back injury, and then obviously rode him into a Hall of Fame career, in New England, and obviously topped it off in Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. So they've done some really good things. Jamie Collins, who I talked about, being on the coaching staff. A diamond in the rough, end up being a really, really good pass rusher. Or in the transfer portal, where you think that New England has done a really good job. Rodney Harrison, bringing him in, and obviously borderline Hall of Famer. Picking up guys like Roman Pfeiffer, position changes of like Teddy Bruschi. So I think, when you think about the transfer portal, and then obviously with the NFL right now with the free agency period, it's a crapshoot, but then also you have to be able to. It is when I say it's a crapshoot, it's no different, right? You're at the table. I guess I'm not a gambler, and you kind of maybe you got lucky because somebody 2 seats down didn't hit, and you doubled down and you won a big hand. You have to live in the moment. You have to be willing to take your winnings and walk away. Or when it's a calculated risk and there's more upside, go all in. And that's no different than recruiting. It's no different than, building your roster. You mentioned the 2 or 3 year mark. That's no different in the NFL than right now. The practice squad is the 10 guys or whatever they have is no different than the bottom 20 of that 105. Mm-hmm. There are probably some guys that are coming off injuries, maybe taking some chances on guys that maybe have some character issues, or guys that need to develop, right? A Jay Foreman that never lifted weights, never wanted to lift weights. And say, hey, look, we think you got some talent, but you got to get bigger, faster, stronger. Like yesterday, we'll give you a chance. And then I got to be dedicated to doing that and obsessed, and then be a good football player like they thought I was, but just needed development. That's no different. And the teams that do it the best will be successful. And then, as we see in this free agency period, right now, right? We didn't get to really get into the franchise tags, but when you think of the moves that are going to be made here pretty soon, Deebo Samuel being able to be traded, right? T. Higgins, right, he's the belle of the ball right now. Mm-hmm. And it's twofold. Jamar Chase is up for a new contract. He's exceeded that rookie contract tenfold. Mm-hmm. T. Higgins could play on a 1 year. I think it's 26 million. Probably is worth 36 million. And then you're going to try to bring back Trey Hendrickson. And now with the uptick in the salary cap, all of a sudden the Bengals are going to try to, spend money. Then on the flip side, pretty much directly south from Cincinnati, almost Dallas hasn't spent money on any of their free agents. Overpaid probably for Dak. Does he redo his contract for the betterment of the team? And then will Jerry Jones actually spend money? Will he actually spend money, or will he spend money wisely? Micah Parsons is up. You got Zach Martin, who's a Hall of Famer. You're going to pay him. You just obviously
he's walking out the door, Jay. Zach Martin just about 20 minutes ago said that he's plans to retire.
Oh, well, and you know what's weird about that? Here, it's Zach Martin. Now, their center was a little bit of health issues, but he could have came back and played.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyron Smith. Like, all these guys that end up being Pro Bowlers, potential Hall of Famers, just say, you know what, I'm ready to get up out of there. They got Tyler Smith down there that's pretty much whatever he wants to be. They'll probably end up trying to move him to tackle. They just drafted that pretty physical offensive tackle from Oklahoma. So you got that. But I think the reluctancy of Jerry Jones to build a team sends a guy like Zach Martin, even though he struggled physically, but for him to put the retirement papers in this quickly, this early in the offseason, lets you know he was retired probably about middle of the season last year. And it's the environment, like, because look, I know we went over my stats. That's Austin. I'm telling you, man, I've been stewing on that for an hour.
My bad.
I'm about to watch some of my tape, man. I'm about to get a couple surgeries. I'm about to really plus or minus this, right? But when you think about Zach Martin, right, who's Pro Bowler since he pretty much got there,
7-time All-Pro,
dominating, right? Mm-hmm. And he's in a different mindset than Jay Foreman was, right? Whereas like he probably like doesn't want to move his family from Dallas, probably doesn't want to play for another organization unless it's like Kansas City or the Eagles, right? Worth his time. And he probably decided he got sick of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys' lack of willingness to be a real playoff contender. You got to think for him. He's just seen their two biggest rivals, Commanders and the Eagles, dominate that division.
Yeah.
And then it games, does he really work? Now, the injuries will do it. And trust me, even for me, father time and injuries, man, and not being hurt, he would play. The injuries are more mental than physical. A great player like that 20 minutes ago just decided, you said, you know what? The offer that I guarantee you, Jerry Jones' lack of communication or lack of willingness to pay him enough to make it worth, which is weird because even if they were paying him $2 million, it would be worth our time, right?
Oh yeah.
But for him to get him out of retirement, to go through that grind, to deal with the mental anguish of being a Dallas Cowboy, knowing they don't have a chance next year, sent him into retirement. And I know that a lot of talk has been said about Travis Kelce. Now, does the salary cap boost make it easier for the Chiefs to bring him back? The Chiefs were going to bring him back no matter what. He'll retire when he wants. It's up to, does he really want to play? That's the key.
Is he? I want to make sure I phrase this right. Do you think Travis Kelce is still playing football because he loves to play football? Do you think he's mature enough to know when he's not playing football for the love of football?
It's questionable now because he's got a ton of opportunities outside of football. I still think he loves to compete. I don't know if he loves the work to get ready. And that's it. Look, man, he's been doing it for a long time. So the flame burns out, and it takes. I mean, telling you, Austin, part of the reason why people retire. Now, granted, I think there's three reasons why you retire. One, you just physically just get passed by, right? Then two is like everything that you can't control. Salary cap number, what they have to pay you. Now the CBA's changed where they can bring you in and have you on the practice squad, and you don't really price yourself out of it. So for me, I couldn't negotiate down. I would have came in and competed for a rookie salary and beat him out and been just fine, right? But you didn't get to do it. Now you can. Or three, which happens a lot for somebody like Travis Kelce, is let's say you level up to the level where you have a opportunity. I'm sure on his podcast he gets a couple $1 million, right? Because they signed a huge deal, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I saw him in a couple movies, like in the previews. So that, and then the work in the offseason to be at that level. Travis Kelce obviously is a way better player than I was. And to get to that level, Hall of Fame level, to be, at an older, he's able, he's 35 years old. You just know, whether you're willing to put in that work or not. And that's what he said, whether he's going to be all in or not is definitely something that he has to commit to. Because I think by him saying it, he knows he didn't prepare the way he should have this season. And the clock struck 12 in the biggest and the worst moment that it can. And that's in the Super Bowl. Standing around, not moving, not being able to get open, didn't have enough energy or gas in the tank to be effective or be a viable option. Is probably a lot to deal with on his end, potentially.
Two things. First of all, I think it's going to be interesting to see if Travis Kelce is more willing to deal with what you call the pain of discipline, or if he's okay with living with the pain of regret and going out this way, right? I think as a fan, as a neutral observer, we would like to think that Travis Kelce would deal with the pain of discipline again, right? See if he can have one last better hurrah, at least statistically for him. If Kansas City makes it back, to the Super Bowl again for the fourth time in a row, that would be pretty incredible. But also, Jay, it sounds like you have a pretty good opportunity ahead of you. One of our good friends at the station of the show, David from Renew, says, speaking of not being a gambler, when's the steak dinner, Jay?
I just got that, and I'll text Dave. Listen, man, it's not a good opportunity for me, Austin. I got bamboozled into not reading the small print of picking these games, picking with my heart, and end up just being let down by James Franklin.
Rookie mistakes.
Rookie mistakes, and I got to pay for it. We're waiting for some other things to logistics to get ready for it. But for Dave, for the 85th time, he knows he could text me. Probably about November, man. Or not November, but March. March. No. I'm gonna pay it up, man, because I'm putting a limit on them. I got a feeling Dave's gonna try to do me like a rookie. Hey, man, I ain't making that type of money. Yeah, I ain't making that rookie money anymore. So we'll get it going. I'm sure they're gonna have plenty of pictures of a boat or whatever you call it to let everybody know that I was the first place loser in this pick'em. But I'll be back for revenge next year. But with that being said, we're gonna take a quick break. Come back. Let's go over that. I'm looking at this 2013 draft. Let's really look at it, man. I mean, you got some interesting names in there, from Deion Jordan. Man. I mean, if the best thing you could do back then is just look good in underwear, and you're going to get picked top 5. So we're going to take a quick break, come back. Austin Oerman, Jay Foreman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one, get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off Piedmontese brats. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen, Stein Stamina, and much more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m., and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $5 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for this Saturday's Bachfest.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fear's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fear's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fear's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see mostly sunny skies, and it will be cold. We'll see an afternoon high of just 10. Tonight, mainly clear skies, continued cold temperatures, a low of minus 11. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, an afternoon high near 21. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hunter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Back to old school on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back once again. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, old school, the new school way. Second segment, the 2013 draft. I don't even, Austin, let's see. Well, I was in 98, 99, but the one thing about it as we're talking about this, look, it's a great honor to get drafted. First of all, it's a great honor just to even play football, when you think about this. And sometimes you lose sight of that. And, I remember, we'll have Jason Peter on and we'll talk about the difference of these kids and stuff like that. And we're not old guys sitting on our lawn and trying to tell everybody what to do. Like I said before, just our experience and trying to drop some knowledge comes from the mistakes that we made. We're trying to actually help you, and we're not trying to talk down to you. We're actually trying to talk up to you or level you up. Things were drastically different. I didn't come to college thinking about the pros. I was like, you are stuck with me. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to try not to get kicked out of school. So I'm going to make sure I'm not going to be an embarrassment to go back home and be watching high school football with my Letterman's jacket on.
Mission accomplished.
Right. And so that, for me, the fear of failure was my motivator. Right. And I was competitive and all that, just like everybody was competitive. And, but I found a way to become obsessed with just trying to be the best college player I could be. Now, the difference is that we always kept the main thing, that was winning. Nobody started thinking about the pros until it was time to, your time was up, and Jason and Grant, they had the opportunity to go their junior years and came back, for the betterment of the team. And it worked out tremendously for the team and the university. And then obviously themselves, right? Both of them went first round. These kids that, definitely are thinking about the next level because it's right in their face from the time that they're in middle school. People are saying, oh, you're an NFL guy or whatever. And and it's got to be a recruiting tool. And that's how you should want guys. The funny thing is kids talk about the NFL all the time, but the percentage of guys that actually want to make it and do the things that need to be done to make it is even smaller than when it's the complete opposite. If you have 85% of the guys that are talking about the NFL, say 90% are talking about the NFL, it's less than 10% actually want to put in the work and make the sacrifice and be a good teammate and all that, and put the team first, right? And so when you think about when you really peel back that onion, I remember, here's a funny story. I remember, and I won't name any names. I remember, going through my career and, I thought about maybe leaving in my junior year, and it was based on another reason. And then I came back, played. And I remember a former teammate of mine called me up, and I thought like, hey, I was a good player at Nebraska. I'll get a shot. Maybe if I knew I would test out well or good enough, I should get drafted. That was just real simple. Remember the dude called me up and was like, man, because I didn't realize the supply and demand. And that's where I think I missed the boat, right? And if there's less supply, your demand to go up. If there's more supply, the demand to go down. So I had a really good linebacker year, guys coming out. I remember a former teammate called me up and was like, man, you even going to get drafted? So then, I'm going to bow up and say like, yeah, went to the combine, did my thing or whatever. And then when you think about it, like right now for guys at Nebraska that are either going to the combine or potentially going to get drafted and got a pro day, you've beaten the odds, right? And so as we talk about this 2013 draft and guys that, in the first round, and we're making fun of them, neither me or you went first round. Like you didn't play football, I did, and these guys accomplished something.
I've been told being drafted in the 5th round is the highest honor an NFL player can get.
Yeah. Well, I was a supplemental pick, so actually I was a 6th round pick, just dressed up as a 5th round pick. So whatever, but we're talking about these guys and them being associated with the worst draft in history, but they were actually good enough players to get drafted there. It just didn't work out. Some of it's circumstances. Some of them maybe were circumstances of where they got drafted, how they got drafted. Some of them are circumstances based on things that they couldn't control, the timing of the franchise and their teammates, right? Or they just were circumstances of somebody fell in love with them. So you got to think like the number 1 pick, right? Eric Fisher. I think he was good. I know he went to the Colts at one time. I felt like he was pretty dang good with the Chiefs. He had some foot issues, and I know that all too well. That could be debilitating. So, I think he was good. Then you go right to Luke Jokel. It run on attack. I think he was okay, but I don't think he was number 2 worthy. But we talk about the run. And here's where things get dicey. And there's no other way to look at it. as the franchise is the reason why it got dicey, and also their number one fan, Jake Sorensen, the Miami Dolphins. They took Deion Jordan. Deion Jordan had like 3 sacks at Oregon. 3. But he was right. He was fast, but he was fast. And everybody, that was that potential pick, right? We can get him here. We can just blitz. We got a lot of potential. Couldn't play dead. Couldn't get his weight up, right? Here's how things are crazy, right? 2 tackles went. 1 and 2, skip 3, number 4, Lane Johnson, Hall of Famer.
All so far.
Right. Hall of Famer, one of the best right tackles of all time. He was thought of as a little bit of a risky pick because he's a former tight end and quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But you see him, he's still cold-blooded. He's the best get off, quick, physical, dominant, really, really dominated Chris Jones the few times they linked up. And then here's the other one. Ezekiel Ansah from BYU got drafted Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he was bust material, but actually he played and ended up being really good, but he had bad knees. So I think he was okay.
I mean, 15 and a half sacks in 6-7 years.
Right. I thought he ended up being pretty dang good. And exceeded expectations maybe of people that didn't know that he was. I think he worked himself into a legitimate player. His body I talked about those reasons, right? Yeah. Body failed him. That's nothing he can do. Always was in shape. It wasn't like he got up to 330 pounds and had to lose weight. The next, and this is where you go on a run of bad picks, right? Barkevious Mingo, kind of like Deion Jordan. Definitely was not big enough to play, was kind of just a potential. He definitely was a former basketball player that didn't continue to grow and, got drafted by Cleveland. And that at what circumstances, organization. Jonathan Cooper, probably quite decent, but was he really invested, right? Here's a guy that I think hurt him in the circumstances in the team he got drafted. Tavon Austin, I think he went to Dallas. He loved it. Smaller guy, probably before his time. He gets drafted now. He's pretty much the godfather to Deebo Samuel, just a smaller version. But I'm telling you the truth in college. So it's kind of mixed on that. D. Milner didn't work out, right? Chance Warmack, another Alabama offensive lineman that kind of probably hit his apex in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
DJ Fluker. He when he got drafted at tackle, I think his best years were at guard. But I think he got a little bit too big. Again, not the foot speed, but those two together in college was a heck of a tandem. DJ Hayden. Well, no. University of Houston, right? Sheldon Richardson. I do think that I think he got drafted too low. Hey, he was the truth when he played. From Missouri, the first of the run of plenty of Missouri guys getting drafted and being good, NFL players. Star Latui, I think he was good. From Utah, I think he was pretty consistent. I think he was good. Kenny Vaccaro, right? A little bit slower safety, probably wasn't worth the top 5 pick. But I still think he was a decent player, but never lived up to the top 15 pick.
No.
EJ Manuel. Circumstances of Buffalo, no really outside receivers, but I don't think him playing in Buffalo was the best thing for him. He needed to go to like an Arizona or somewhere like that, like warmer weather.
EJ Manuel's career stats look like a decent-ish year right now. 343 completions on 590 attempts, 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 16 picks. Ran it 96 times for 340 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's a pretty decent season now. Maybe a little turnover prone, but that was his whole career in 30 games. If that's a 16-game season, okay, you can talk yourself into there's some playmaking ability there. But that's a guy who bounced around the league. It wasn't like he put together 2 years. That's a guy who put together like 4.5, 5 years, about 6 games a year on average. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, and that's it. But again, I think Buffalo wasn't suited to surround him. But then also the turnovers, which were masked at Florida State by that one really good year by him, and they didn't go back and do their homework. And then you got Jarvis Jones, like I mentioned, injury. Eric Reed, I think of circumstances because he really, I think he was a really good player, but he dove into with the Colin Kaepernick thing. So I think he was a little bit on the, the naughty guy list, right? But I think he was a very, very good. And you see his brother, really good player. Eric Reed was a good player for San Fran, right? Justin Pugh, I think he was decent. I think he was actually he got a couple contracts. I think when he moved into guard, he was pretty good. Kyle Long, again, I think injuries hurt him.
Yeah.
He just recently made a comeback, and that's how good he is after a year or two off, just the injuries. And I think he was really good. Tyler Eifert, I think he when you look at it when it's said and done, was legit. But injuries got him. He had that one gruesome injury. Desmond Trufant, okay, probably maybe at the right place. Sharif Floyd, right? Remember Mike Zimmer didn't like him, wouldn't play him, sued him. But also here's also the circumstances. He got staph infection in a knee cleanup. Career essentially has been over. But now he's coaching. Guess where he's coaching? Commanders. There you go. Yeah. So Bjorn Warner, I felt like it was injuries, but worth the first round pick and a run on outside rushers and defensive linemen. Xavier Rhodes, a big corner, probably a year too late going to safety. But again, same thing with him, injury and bad timing. And I felt like Mike Zimmer with the Vikings there, it was protect the defense, not develop the defense yet, right? Probably was never really a true number one lockdown corner unless you played cover two. But that's when Terrence Newman came in and ended up playing there forever. He was like 50 years old, still locking guys down. Dante Jones, we talked about him. DeAndre Hopkins, Hall of Famer, goes 27.
Best pick of the first round.
Think about that. Him and Lance Johnson, right? Sylvester Williams, suspect at best. Alex Ogletree.
You missed one.
Oh, Cordell Patterson. Now, I will say this. Minnesota had 3 first-round picks. I think at the wide receiver, probably not. But overall football player, I like it. He's a great special teams player, a do-it-all. He plays running back now, and he's pretty dang effective. So I think that's actually a good pick. Alec Ogletree probably didn't live up to the potential. I think he had a ton of potential, had a couple good years. Remember, Mike Singletary was coaching him out there at the Rams. He did really good, went to the Giants, got hurt, but then kind of never really got it going. Travis Frederick, this is the one right here. He was a really, really good first-round pick, but he had that weird he's the one that had the weird physical thing, right? He had to sit out for a year. I think it's either remember that? Yeah, and so he had to retire early. So, and then the last one, Matt Elam, safety from Florida, was like 5'8", 200 pounds. They talked themselves into drafting that. So that's how crazy the draft can go. And so there's going to be plenty of guys if we went into the second or third round.
Well, just in the first 10 picks in the second round, you get Zach Ertz and Darius Slay back-to-back. You get Geno Smith as the second quarterback off the board. And then Robert Woods, who's carved out a decent career. Jonathan Hankins a little bit down the list. Le'Veon Bell was a second-round pick to Pittsburgh that paid dividends there for the first few years of that career. And then that's really it in the second round is those guys. And then Jonathan Hankins, I guess.
Yeah, and he's kind of bounced around, but it's always a crapshoot. And sometimes it's a crop of, it's like a good crop of a class of players. Like when you think about I guess in my recruiting class or like when Tommy Frazier's class, you get some depth out of there, you get some real star players, and say you recruit 20 guys or 25 guys, and 12 of them end up being really big contributors, or say like a high number 18. You think about recruiting classes like Florida when they had their run back-to-back championships, and of course when we did. And then that's no different than the draft. You can have a draft year or a draft class of players that aren't up to snuff either from the previous year or after, and sometimes it can curtail your success in the league, but then also your franchise. So anyways, we're going to take a quick break, put a bow on this bad boy on this Thursday, then we're going to turn it over to WTF. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see mostly sunny skies, and it will be cold. Mostly an afternoon high of just 10. Tonight, mainly clear skies, continued cold temperatures, a low of -11. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, an afternoon high near 21. I'm meteorologist Kyle Husker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through February 23rd, enjoy all-natural boneless chicken breast for $2.98 per pound, 8-ounce USDA Choice Bacon Wrap Sirloin Filet for $4.99 each, Pepsi, Coke, or 7-Up Mix and Match $3.99 each when you buy 3, and Busch Light 30 racks just $16.99 when you buy more than $6 in fresh meat. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen, Stein Stamina, and much more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m., and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $5 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for this Saturday's Bachfest.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, 4-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green.
Back to old school on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. Quick segment here before we turn it over to WTF. We talk facts to keep it for ticket weeknights. Eastrick and Clester be on dropping some knowledge. Talk about the NBA All-Star Game, etc.
They'll be raining terror is what they'll be doing, Jay. They'll be raining terror.
That was, but Strick really, I really felt that with Strick though, man. What are you talking about that? Rain and tear down on O Street. Austin, I wanted to ask you, we didn't really get to dive in. Me and you didn't really get to talk about Nebraska basketball, man. And on a scale of 1 to 7, 1 being not much, 7 being the worst, or extreme panic. What's your level of panic based on the performance of everybody's going to focus on Penn State, but just over the last 2 road games?
Panic level is probably about 2.5. I think what we've learned about this team, Jay, is that when it plays at its best, it can be pretty darn good. So the ceiling is moderately high, but the floor is dangerously low. And that's not exactly a comfortable place for Husker fans to be. When you look at the rest of the regular season, I still think Nebraska is in a position where it can look at it 2-2. I think 3-1 is certainly on the table, and either of those are still, I think, acceptable outcomes for the last 4 games for this program to accomplish what a lot of fans think it should, and I think a lot of its own kind of internal goals. At this point, I'm not as panicked about the rest of the year, though, Jay, because most of the hay's already in the barn, right? You're not going to see Nebraska all of a sudden get magically better on the road in its one remaining road game against Ohio State. I would be shocked if Nebraska comes out and swings first and gets out to a lead on the road after the first 4 or 8 minutes at Ohio State, which makes it beneficial to Nebraska that they do have 3 home games remaining. Biggest game of the season is the next one for this team, but this is Nebraska's last best chance to get a really good win that'll actually help improve any sort of postseason resume with Michigan coming to town on Monday. I was a little alarmed, Jay, that Nebraska looked so soft and so sped up by Penn State's ball pressure. They fed right into what Penn State wanted to do with how loose they were with the ball. You mostly credit Penn State for that. I expected a little better response out of it from Nebraska. Turns out it was a worse matchup than I thought with that length and athleticism. I thought Nebraska would handle it better. So, like I've been saying for a while now, if Nebraska is able to, I don't even want to say take care of business, if Nebraska is able to do enough to get into the NCAA tournament, winning that first game is going to be elusive. It's going to be matchup based. And that's what kind of happens when you're in that 8, 9, 10, maybe even 11 seed range, is that it takes the right matchup for you to pull an upset, right? I don't think Nebraska is matchup proof. I think we've seen that throughout the year. Teams that can make it rain from 3, teams that can be long and athletic and speed Nebraska up and force them to turn it over can really cause Nebraska some problems. But if you line up, play Nebraska mano-a-mano, man-to-man, and just play normal basketball, Nebraska can handle that fine. It's teams that have that extra gear, either offensively or defensively, that have given Nebraska problems. So last night didn't necessarily expose anything new about Nebraska. It was kind of disappointing to see it didn't get fixed. So it's not a great look. It's not a great sign, but it's also, just more of the same issues cropping up again.
Yeah, I think it's just something that more, like you said, being loose with the ball handling, is so key coming down the stretch of the season. Because I'm assuming during practice you're not doing a lot of ball handling drills, but also it's like ball security in football. Sometimes you got to work on it on yourself, and then also more or less it gives you the confidence to have the mentality to go to Penn State to represent the right way. And so, I think the biggest thing they could do, obviously, Nebraska, like you said, I think Texas A&M probably showed Nebraska's kryptonite. You're not going to fix it overnight, but also I think you can get better at what you need to get better at, right? And the biggest thing they need to obviously get better at is just their mentality. They've been able to reset at times this year, which is commendable, because you've seen teams, go in the tank, but then also, like Apollo Creed told Rocky, sometimes there is no tomorrow, right? And so now it's time to take it to a new level, right? And sometimes I think you can get caught up in this Nebraska tidal wave of talking about NCAA tournament and feel like you've already made it, and go out there and get your feelings hurt. So they got a little bit of layoff before they get out there and get busy. I think against Michigan next, but ultimately they can control their own destiny, and that's a great problem to have, both bad and good. And I think they do have enough wherewithal and leadership with Fred that they'll be able to fix it, and not even fix it, just play to their level. And the schedule sets up for them some winnable games at home. So they got to rinse and repeat, or rinse and reset here within the next day or two. So, anyways, good show as always, Austin. Good seeing you in person. Obviously, be at home from here on out. But stay tuned and listen to WTF with E. Strick and Cluster. But for Austin Oerman, Jay Foreman, Old School, we'll holler at you tomorrow.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one, get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off Piedmontese brats. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
You hungry? You know you are. We got chicken fingers, crunchy, fries are golden crispy, baby. Yo, don't forget about the cane sauce, baby. Ooh, it hits the spot. My love.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through February 23rd, enjoy all-natural boneless chicken breasts for $2.98 per pound. 8-ounce USDA Choice Bacon Wrap Sirloin Filet for $4.99 each. Pepsi, Coke, or 7-Up Mix and Match, $3.99 each when you buy 3. And Busch Light 30 racks, just $16.99.